Hello everyone and welcome to the Zelda Cast here on ZeldaDungeon.net. My name is Andy Spiteri, joined by Allison Aletha. The Nintendo Switch 2 is here.
It's
Wow.
here. We did it.
We did it. Felt like
I
a
it's
long road to get here.
it feels like it was a long road, but also not at all. It feels like I don't know, like also the Switch was, in my opinion, doing really well, so probably could have gone another year without updating it. I don't know. It's just like it's such a weird console launch because it's like essentially the same thing, just better. And then also at the same time, it's like there wasn't as exciting stuff for us. I mean, like Mario
Sure.
Kart's exciting, but like Zelda, there wasn't Zelda, so we weren't as hyped for it as we were for the Switch. So my feelings are like, yeah, I'm excited, but at the same time, just not as excited as I think I would have been if there was a Zelda game attached.
I feel that way as well, but for me, I feel like this is just like an absolute long time coming. I was ready for the Switch 2 like last year, at least.
Okay. I think since I recently switched to the OLED, I know like a lot of
Well,
people have already done
that's
that.
it. Yeah.
That kind of changed my perspective where I'm like, oh man, I just got an OLED, you know? So I was like,
Yeah.
I could have had that for a year or two.
Well, like I had a day one Switch, and so for me
Hmm.
it was just like,
That
oh
makes
my
sense.
god, like I need a
Yeah.
new Switch. Like my Joy Cons are drifting like crazy. Like they don't.
Hmm.
I'll talk about it later, but like the system transfer even was giving me troubles with the Joy Cons. Like, um, so like I was just like I need a new Switch, and what
Hmm.
really put it like over the top was when we did the Omega Metroid Marathon. Like that just killed the
Oh,
Joy
okay.
Cons. Like they were not the same after that. They were already bad going into that, but they were like so much worse after
I
that.
have to say that Metroid does something to controllers because when I played Super Metroid, like my controller died after that. I don't like, I just was using the controls a little too hard, I think. And maybe that's a Metroid thing.
You know what? I've got a blister on my finger here, Al, and the reason why I've
Okay.
got one of those I don't even know what you call it. It's like a thing that you run along carpets and it pulls out like cat hair that's embedded in the carpet. You know what I'm
Yeah.
talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm using this thing yesterday and I'm grinding my stairs, like I'm grinding them. And also I'm like absolutely dying because like the all this hair coming out is hitting me in the
Yeah.
face. And I'm
Hmm.
allergic to it. But yeah, so I was doing it so hard. I had this big blister on my finger like afterwards.
Hmm.
So I don't maybe that's your Metroid when you're playing Super Metroid fighting Ridley. I could see that. I could see fighting
Yeah.
Ridley giving you a blister.
Yep. Very true. It is kind of funny how there are certain like games like I call when I play the DS games, like I'm playing Phantom Hourglass for the marathon. I call this like stiff shoulder the DS shoulder like it's an
Mm,
actual sports injury.
yes.
So like I gotta get the Metroid finger blister or something.
Yes. You know what? We also have a comment. I've dented one of the joysticks just by playing Picross. I've played probably like 200 hours of Picross, so I'm sure that didn't help my my controllers or Joy Cons either. But yeah, so the new console is finally here, and even like with all of the like shenanigans, like the political stuff that we were talking about, even as early as like 2 3 months ago, like that, it just
Hmm.
felt like there was a lot of twists, a lot of turns, a lot of uncertainty around everything. But we got to the 5th of June, and I gotta say, Al, like my experience picking it up was almost just like any other day, like going walking into GameStop and just picking up a game or
Hmm.
something. It was seamless for me. And I know, so for me, I did not do the midnight release this year because, as you said,
Hmm.
there wasn't not even like a Zelda game, but like there so obviously there was no Zelda game, but there was no like a Metroid game or like a new Super Mario or you know what, just like that big single player game. And I like Mario Kart a lot, and I think this Mario Kart is really awesome, which we'll talk about. But
Hmm.
yeah, for me, and I think for a lot of us in kind of ZD or Omega, like that was like kind of like a nice game to have, like because you know that you're going to be playing online, but maybe not like the one that incentivizes you to like do the midnight release. Like it was
Hmm.
certainly like no Breath of the Wild. I don't think, or
Hmm.
not even like a Smash Bros Melee for. I guess it didn't launch on GameCube, but you know what I mean. It wasn't like that same caliber.
Hmm.
So for me, I was just like, I remember thinking like, hey, yeah, you know what? If my Switch didn't get here until Saturday, I'd be okay with that because like and to be honest with you, I was telling you before we started the show, like I barely had time to play my Switch 2 before like today, like
Mhm.
at all. So I had such a busy week and such a busy weekend. I probably only played it for like 2 hours, if that. So I'm gonna try and give my first impressions, but I did get like so busy and didn't have enough time as I wanted. But yeah, I don't know. I felt like the day kind of came and I was like, great, it's Switch 2 day. Picked it up and it was kind of just like matter of fact.
Mhm. I want to say that first of all, having something released on a Thursday is silly in my opinion.
Very weird choice of day.
And I feel like Nintendo's been doing that a lot recently. I don't know if this has always been. I feel like it's always been Friday, but like Echoes of Wisdom came out on a Thursday, and now the Switch 2 launch was on a Thursday. I don't know, it was just goofy. Most people are working. And
Yeah.
then for me, like we were talking about last week, I wasn't sure if I was gonna get it on launch day because my Walmart emails were being weird and like my bank was saying, oh, there's fraud. And I was like, no, there's not, it's fine. But then Walmart wasn't doing the transaction again, and so I called Walmart a few times, and the second guy that I talked to, I felt so bad because I was like, I feel like I'm a little bit of a pushover, so I was trying to have a stern voice and be like, "Hey, I'm just trying to get answers to my questions." And I didn't think I was being mean, but like when he finally explained, I was like, "Okay, that made a lot of sense to me. Thank you so much for explaining that to me." And he's like, "Okay, thanks for not yelling at me." I was like, "Oh, are you getting yelled at by all the people about the Switch 2?" I felt so
I'm
bad.
sure there's like a lot of people just getting abused right
He's
now
like,
that
he
work at
said,
Best Buy or whatever.
yeah, he said people are very passionate about the Switch 2 is what he said. And I felt bad. So I
Very
was like, I'm so
diplomatic
sorry.
answer.
I
Yeah.
hope I didn't seem like I was yelling at you. I just wanted answers. I'm so sorry. I know it's not your fault. Hope you have a good rest of your day. And then I still had no idea until literally the morning of, maybe like the night before I finally saw the transaction go through, and then the morning of they're like, "We're delivering it in 30 minutes." And I got it at 6:30 in the morning. And I was at work already. So I was just like,
Hmm.
"Oh, wow. That I wasn't expecting that." So I was relieved, and I had to like text my brother and be like, "Get that in the house before the pirates come and take it." But like it was just kind of funny how I was like stressed out about it all week because I had no idea if I was going to get it or if it
Yeah.
was going to get canceled, and then it like just happened in that morning of. So I'm relieved I got it. Yay. And I wanted to talk about Walmart because Walmart did this funny thing where they included cans of Pringles and Coke, like Coca-Cola, with
Ugh.
the pre-orders.
Hold on. What's our opinion on Pringles, Al? I know we've differed in food before.
The only Pringle flavor that I like is the sour cream and onion. I don't really like Pringles.
I think Pringles are nasty. Every flavor, and not only that, but, like eating them is such a pain in the ass. Like taking them out of that stupid tin. Like, what are we doing? Why is it in there? Like, why do I have to suction my fist? Like, I've got big like hands. Like, why do I have to suction my hand to get in there to get the Pringles?
Hmm.
I
I
think
mean,
Pringles are just like so gross.
yeah, so I don't really care for Pringles. I got the pizza flavor. My brother Andy loves them, so I gave them to him. His birthday was
Pizza
June 5th,
flavor
so
Pringles.
yeah,
What did I just say? Pizza flavored
Pringles.
Pringles. Pringles?
Um,
Yeah.
so I showed Andy and he was like, "Oh, I love those. Those are my favorite flavor." And I was like, "Okay, happy birthday," because it was also his birthday.
Yeah.
So I gave him the pizza Pringles. And then the Coca-Cola bottle said Steven on it, which is my dad's name, so I thought that was also funny. But
There
like
you
I just
go.
thought it was a cute little like here's your Switch pre-order, also some free Pringles and like Coca-Cola. I just thought that was kind of like a nice little
Yeah.
touch, you know?
Yeah, sure. Shout out to Walmart for giving.
Yeah,
They probably had these Pringles and like no one's buying them because they're
you
gross.
probably.
How do we get rid of these cans of Pringles?
I think Goo shared an article in the break room, and it was saying Walmart was saying like, we understand gamers, like the stereotypical gamer. I'm like, stereotypical gamers do not like Pringles. Like,
No, no, dude,
so
it's Doritos and Mountain Dew. Like, what are you doing? That's the stereotype.
I would have been upset if I got Mountain Dew because I don't like Mountain Dew. I do like Coca-Cola though. So
Coke is
I
safe.
don't know.
I think Mountain Dew is good, but you guys have like a gajillion Mountain Dew flavors also.
I only like literally I only like Baja Blast when I'm having Taco Bell, and that's it.
Hmm. I
I
see.
don't really like Mountain Dew.
Yeah. So my experience like picking it up was like I said was pretty easy. Like I switched. as I said, I kind of started a new gig recently here, and so I don't work nights on my new gig, but I volunteered to work a night on Thursday because there was something I needed to know how to do, and like I needed to watch someone working late do it. So it just so happened it worked out, and I was like, oh great. And so I just like got up that day, and I was going into the office at like 11, and I was like, well, I guess I'll pick up my Switch on the way to work. And so I walked in, and I was like, I gave myself a lot of time because I didn't know if there'd be a line or anything like that. And
Yeah.
so I walked in, there's nobody in GameStop, and I was like, here to pick up my Switch too. And I was talking to the guy working there, and I was like, how was last night? Because I know that they did the midnight release, which like I chose not to go to. And yeah, so he was just like, yeah, it was pretty crazy. Like we were here till 2 a.m., but it wasn't as like wild as some other midnight releases that I've worked at before. And I was like, oh yeah, and he's like, oh, the Switch one was crazy for sure, like with Breath of the
Hmm.
Wild. And
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay, like cool. And so I got my Switch and I left. And then later that day, we got a notice from not FedEx, but like Canada Post, and they were just like, oh, we tried to deliver your Switch, but you weren't home, so we dropped it off at the nearest Staples. So on Friday, I want to say that we went in and picked up the second Switch, which I'm making arrangements to sell to a buddy of mine. Um, so I was just like, this is so weird. Like both of them were just like so seamless.
Hmm.
Like it was almost like frightening how easy it was after like the initial like trying to pre-order.
Yeah, and like I want to also like say that I have seen like horror stories of Thursday.
Yes,
I
I have
have
too.
seen seen some wild stuff like Best Buy, I think it was Best Buy in one specific city gave these people tickets when they were in line saying like you have to get this ticket at midnight. And then Best Buy came in, we're like, we're closed at midnight. And it's like, but we had to get the ticket at midnight, so we thought like you were going to
Yeah,
give us the thing. And then they were like, well, if you leave, your ticket expires and we open at 10. So like they had to stay there until 10. Anyways, that was, a big poop show. But like there's other like horror stories that I've seen where people were not getting them, they got canceled or whatever. So I do feel bad about that. And it's
yeah,
just kind of wild because some of them were Best Buy or Walmart, while others, like I got my Walmart order and you got your GameStop order. So I don't
yeah.
know. It was just like weird how some places were successful and some were not. It was just wild.
Well, I mean, like as someone that used to work at like a retail store, right? Like for many years, like there's a big difference between like you can have two Best Buys and like they could be run completely differently, like from the general
Hmm.
manager down to like the staffing and their system, and like they're not all built equally. So like
Okay.
if you have like, and I don't know if there was like a specific system that like Best Buy Corporation or Walmart Corporation dictated this be done by. I would think maybe not, but I could be
Hmm.
wrong. But if there wasn't, then like the store is kind of left to their own devices to like figure out how they want to handle midnight release. And I can, like I said, like they're not all built equal, so I could definitely see where like while most I think were able to meet the demand, there's definitely some stores that were lacking in their
Hmm.
organization for the release of this Switch 2. But I will say like I really have not, and I'm sorry, this isn't to sound diminishing if this did happen to you, but I really haven't seen a whole lot of like horror stories from launch night. Like I've heard like a couple here and there, but I think it seemed to go pretty smoothly for the most part, which is good because like you just heard what a cluster like the PS5 launch was, even like the
Hmm.
Switch launch and like the SNES Mini and stuff like that. Like that was just a gong show, right? Like
Oh, yeah,
this
I
one
remember
seemed
that.
to be a lot more, I don't know, stable.
Hmm. Um, yeah, maybe because there wasn't like a huge like well, I don't know. Mario Kart is different for everybody so than for us. So maybe I mean it was a big deal. But I was excited to see that people were out in lines again. I feel
Yeah.
like since COVID, like it's like a lot of that excitement for like midnight releases, whether it be movies, games, etc., like it's just kind of diminished. So I'm really glad to see those like ramping back up again. I personally wasn't gonna do that because I had to work on a Thursday, so
Yeah.
um but yeah, it was just fun to see a bunch of fans like lining up and the stores that did have their stuff together, they got them, their Switch 2s, and it I feel like a lot of people that were at those midnight releases probably had a really fun time.
Yep, totally.
Hmm.
I remember I had a good time in the Tears of the Kingdom midnight release
Yeah,
even.
same.
So
And I just went like on a whim. I wasn't even going to do that, but I did, and it wound up being a lot of fun.
my GameStop did not have any of the new Zelda amiibo though, so
Oh, yeah, I was gonna ask you.
I gotta be on the lookout for those. They had a random restock of Ness. Look at that
Weird.
guy. Yeah,
This is
look at old
this is Drip
Yunobo
Nobo.
there. No,
So
that's not Drip Nobo. That's
I
not
know.
Drip Nobo, Al.
I know. He's not wearing the mask, but I forgot about the amiibo until the day before, so I went and ordered, and for some reason, Yonobo was the only one not available for pre-order. And then literally the next day, they were like, "Oh, by the way, Yonobo's available," because I set up the email, whatever. And I was like, "Oh, okay." And then I just went and picked it up at Target. So the other three are in the mail, and this one I just went and picked up in store. So
Nice. I'm gonna
it
track
looks
down.
really good. Like the
Amiibo
detail
lately
looks,
do. Yeah.
yeah, like the detail looks amazing. His outfit looks really good. Yeah, the sand is
Hmm.
awesome. So looks very good.
Well, let's talk about the actual Switch 2 here, Al. So we get it. We get back home. We unbox it. Um, so as someone with a day one Switch, I was like, oh my god, this is so much bigger. It feels so much
Yes.
sturdier. Like I remember getting the Switch and thinking like that was like, oh my god, this is an actual device. And this Wii U gamepad is a stupid, silly toy that is like feels like it's falling apart.
Uh-huh.
And I almost felt like that with this as well, where I was just
Yeah.
like, this feels like a legitimate, nice device to have. So so yeah, I think that I thought that the Joy Cons, like I really like how those clip on and off, like they
Hmm.
feel just like so much more secure, not just kind of like they're strapped on by like one kind of connector button. I thought that was really nice, and just like the feel of the console itself, like I was just like, this feels like such an upgrade to me
Hmm.
as someone with an 8-year-old Switch.
Yes. And I mean, I busted out my other. I kept it. I kept the 8-year-old Switch. I'm a little bummed that it didn't last a few more months, but it was just dying. So I busted it out just to compare to the three. And even compared to the OLED, the Switch 2 is just massive. And I
Yeah,
did wonder because I'm not really a handhold player, but I know you are. So when
yeah,
you're holding the Switch 2, is it too big? Like, would you
no,
consider it?
no.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
and again, like I was saying, like I have big paws, but for me, I'm just like, this feels like so just like good to hold.
Hmm.
I would also say one of the features that I was really like impressed with, that I didn't think was a big deal when they announced it, was that adjustable stand to hold the Switch up.
Yes.
And I was
Yeah.
like, man, this really does like make quite a difference rather than that flimsy little stick on the
I mean, they
Switch.
have to since it's so much bigger than the
Yeah,
Switch.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I was quite impressed with that. Like I was actually showing off like the Switch 2 to my pals that came over yesterday, and they were just like, oh, like this feels like a legit, system.
Hmm.
So the actual like holding the system, everything like that, I thought felt like really really good, and nice and familiar too, which is nice. But the other, we talked about this when we saw the Switch, but like the other thing that I was just like, oh my god, thank you, is the charging port is on the top, and there's one on the bottom too. So I was
Hmm.
charging it, but I could still like prop it up, and I was like, because that's what I did for my system transfer. I don't know about you,
Hmm.
but yeah, just holding the Switch too, I was like, this feels very nice.
I agree. It did feel very nice. It felt like a little heftier. It felt like the material wasn't as plastic.
Hmm.
It felt very sleek. So like I was doing like a comparison while I was switching between the two, and yeah, I just feel like it's a total upgrade. It's basically when we get into like what's in what it does and what it looks like on when it's on, it's basically the same. It's just upgraded. It's just evolved. It's better, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah.
So I also thought it really felt really nice, and I want to ask Mossy what he thinks about the base, the dock, because he's notorious for hating the Switch dock. Like he's just like, I hate this clunky plastic little thing, and I wonder if he's gonna feel better about the Switch 2. I think it's kind of the same. Like it's not.
Yeah.
it's not like elevated. I mean, it's slightly different. It looks different, but it's kind of the same in my opinion. So I was going to be curious what you would say about that. Be like, this is dumb and clunky and plastic. So,
Yeah. It's
um,
it's nothing like
I mean, it works. It
worlds
does what it's supposed to
different.
do. Yeah,
Yeah, and I feel like that's fine. Like it looks a little bit sleeker, I would say.
yeah. It looks sleeker. Yes.
But I mean like it's still the same idea, right? Like
Hmm.
I don't know. I don't think that I don't think that to be honest with you, I haven't even played it docked. Like I've just played it handheld so far. So like
Hmm.
I'll have to save my thoughts on that for. And I'm also buying a new TV actually because I was like, you know what? It's been 10 years since I've last bought a TV. Like I'm gonna upgrade as well.
What is there's something that you want to make sure your TV has because I don't think my TV has it, but the Switch 2 like utilizes it on the TV. I think it's called like UHD or URD, something like that.
Okay.
My TV doesn't have it, but it utilizes it with the Switch 2. You can like select a setting and
Oh.
I selected it and my TV was like, we don't support that. I was like, well, that's rude, but like
Well, if anyone knows what that is, let me know because I don't know
I'll
anything about TVs.
I'll look it up again just so I can before you get your TV. But like
Okay.
I like having the big screen versus just like being
Yeah.
here. I get the DS shoulder, so
Yeah.
so I have to say like having it on and we'll talk about specific games, but like every game that I open to just view it, immaculate, beautiful.
Oh
Like
yeah. Totally.
so stunning. And I'm so stoked about that. And like this is crazy because and I talked about this before where it's like you don't really know until you've got the upgrade because I used to think Skyward Sword was the most beautiful game ever and then when it gets upgraded you're like wow it was grainy AF back in the day
Mm.
and then with Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom I'm like I think these are the most beautiful games ever but then you see them upgraded and you're like wow things are a little bit clearer so
Yeah.
you just don't know until the day comes that things evolve so it's just I'm really excited about how it looks and how it plays.
Yep, totally. Everything I played was smooth, and like I said, I haven't been able to play a lot, but like everything I played was smooth. The GameCube games look phenomenal on
Oh,
there.
I haven't
Like
even touched those yet.
everything just looks really, really impressive. I thought. I and you know I did think so. Jumping ahead a little bit, I did think that performing a system transfer was quite easy.
Mhm.
Although I was a little bit bummed because I took my SD card out of my Switch and put it into my Switch 2, and it was like, "Sorry, pal, this isn't recognized." And I was
Right.
like, "What?"
Well, not only that, it even between switches, so like the SD card is fine, your data transfer is fine, but if you have like pictures and videos, those do not transfer
Yeah,
to switches. You have to like put that on your computer
I was a
and
little bit
then put it on
confused
a
actually because like I for example, like I had my Metroid Dread data on the SD
Mhm.
card, but I transferred. It didn't transfer over. I just transferred my system memory, but like, or my NSO was also on my SD card. But like, all my
Mhm.
save states are loaded up in the Switch too.
Mhm.
So I was like, I don't know, whatever. Maybe I don't need this SD card.
I think the SD card really is just like to keep space on your console, whereas like the save data is saved in the cloud with your like
I
the
guess,
eShop.
yeah. And honestly,
And
that's all I care about. So I was like, whatever.
yeah, seriously, if we're getting that wrong, correct us. But like, so you did a full system transfer.
Yeah, yeah.
I did not do that because I just did that between the new Switch and the
Mm,
old one. So I just transferred the games that I knew I would be playing on the Switch too, because I was still want to use my OLED that I just got. So
right.
I transferred the Zeldas, Pokemon, and then obviously I downloaded Mario Kart. So I just kind of kept it simple and just did the games. And you could do both, and they
Yeah.
both work really easy and fine.
Yeah, I did the full system transfer because I was like, for me, like I don't know that I want to go and play a whole lot on my Switch One anymore. I probably would, but I would definitely need to get like new Joy Cons for it.
Hmm.
Maybe that can just be Sam's Dr. Mario machine from now on. But and that was one of the games that we played. Actually, I fired up Dr. Mario for her on the Switch too, and she was like, "Oh wow, this looks so good." Um, but yeah, so I did the whole system transfer. It took a while. I have a lot of games, so it probably took like close to an hour, maybe even 90 minutes, like by the time it was all said and done. But so we
Hmm.
got it transferred. The first thing that I opened up was the GameCube app
Okay.
on the Switch 2. Man, I didn't get a lot of time in there, but I fired up and did a race in F-Zero GX, and I was like, "Oh my god, this looks just absolutely spectacular. Like this looks and runs spectacular." It felt like a new game, honestly, like
Hmm.
looking at it, even though it's a 20-year-old game. I was just like, "Wow." And then kind of fiddled around on the Switch a little bit, got everything kind of downloaded. I do want to talk about the eShop because that was one of the things that I wanted to check out. And I don't know if you have anything
Mhm.
that you want to talk about before we get there, Al, but if you don't, let's go to the eShop.
No, I would want to jump to the games next, so let's go
Okay.
eShop.
So, I think one of my biggest critiques about the Nintendo Switch, maybe the biggest, is the state of the eShop. And it doesn't look like that's really been improved a whole lot in the Switch 2, at
Mhm.
least not yet. Um, there is a new feature on the eShop where it kind of does like what Steam does, where it's like, here's like 10 games that we recommend you. And it goes through like a list and has like a little blurb of each one. And it's called like the For You section, which is great. Like that's a really nice feature to have. And the eShop itself like loads so much faster.
Yes, that's true.
So
Yeah.
much faster. So like it's not quite as painful going through the eShop, but like there is still just like no like zero quality control or filtering in the eShop. Like I open it up and like on the first probably like the first like I don't know 4 pages or whatever, there's at least like three AI hentai games and I was like, "Oh my god, like come on. We need to really do something about this eShop because it is just like
Mhm.
sludge, that's in here." So I was a little bit disheartened to see that like the eShop wasn't kind of given more of an overhaul. I think that you should be able to browse it similarly to how the Wii U's eShop was, where it was like, if you want Zelda games, here you go. If you want Pokemon games, here you go. If you know what I mean? Like, it seems like the Switch eShop was just such a step backwards from the Wii U, which is incredibly ironic. And the Switch 2, I don't think has really kind of done anything differently to make that eShop a little bit less just like polluted with a bunch of junk, right? Because like it's really tough to find like good quality games, and now it kind of seems like you could get them recommended to you, which is great, but if you don't, like then yeah, you have to go and search through all of like the AI schlop and stuff that's in there, and not there's a lot of it that's not even AI, but like some of it's just like quick, easy games that are pumped out so that you buy them, you know?
Mhm. I have to say I don't really utilize the eShop that much. Like clearly I did to download some content for the transfer, but also I had to download Mario Kart. Um I feel like back in the day when the Switch first came out, there was like a wish list that I made and then I never really touched it as far as like games I wanted to play because I'm like a comfort creature. You know, like those people who watch like their favorite shows over and over. I'm literally wearing a Schitt's Creek shirt. And like, so I'm kind of one of those people where it's like, I found the game that I like. Sure, I'll take suggestions and try it. Like with Three Houses, I was never gonna play that without you suggesting it. You know what I mean? So
Mm.
now it's one of my comfort games, and I'll go back to those games. But I sometimes have a hard time just going into the eShop to find a new game to play. And maybe that's because of the interface. Maybe
Yeah,
I
could
get
be.
overwhelmed, and I'm just like, this all looks like I don't know, overwhelming. I don't want to look through all this to find something that I know I'm gonna like. So
It's
yeah,
tough
maybe
because like
that
if you don't
could
know what you're looking for, like you know,
yeah. So that could be on the eShop where I'm turned away from it and haven't used it that much. But like
yeah.
part of me is like maybe that's just a me problem. I don't use it that much. But um and I
I
don't
think
know,
it's
we're
probably a mix
also
of
like
both.
yeah, we're also like moving into like a new age of gaming where like maybe I won't get as many hard copies as I used to, so maybe I'll utilize the eShop a little bit more. But yeah, if the interface is not as user friendly or like user like forward where they're giving you stuff that they know you're gonna like, then yeah, it kind of turns you off from using it.
Yeah, like big time. Like at least you could give us like Netflix categories. Like if you like RPGs, scroll through here. If you like,
Hmm.
I don't know, whatever puzzle games, scroll through here. But like it is literally just like block after block after block after block of game, and I'm very concerned about like the quality of like a lot of these games because like now it's AI making games, and it's like oh boy. Um, there was I don't know if you saw, I'm sure you didn't see this. I'm gonna go on a bit of a tangent here, but like Jeff Knightley, our pal Jeff Keeley, had a Summer Games Fest showcase yesterday, and like his
Yeah.
his big last game reveal was this like guy who was pushing this AI game that was made, and I was like, what is happening right now? Like in this game industry when we're pushing like AI games that are made by AI, just I don't know. But yes,
Yeah, it's kind of wild because I feel like
yeah.
AI when used uh in balance, moderation, just like anything in life can be helpful, but like not in taking over people's jobs or doing stuff that people add heart to, you know? Like I just feel like AI can't do that like people can. So yeah, it is kind of weird to see that's being promoted as like AI created games. I don't know if I like that very much.
Yeah, no, I don't like it at all. Get at all. Like pretty soon, we're gonna have to have like instead of the official seal of Nintendo quality, they're gonna have to add a second seal of quality where it's like no AI generation used or something. I
Yeah.
like legit think that's coming like in the not too
I
distant
it like
future.
it not only that, like AI in general just makes me worried because like again, like I talked
Yeah,
to some people about this where I'm like, I think it could be really helpful in moderation, but I don't want it to take over like your critical thinking and your own skills, like because I feel like people are gonna let that
Chat
happen.
GPT is making people so dumb already.
I Yeah, it
It's
worries me
taking your
because like
agency as a human being away. Anyways, us not get down this rabbit
oh,
hole.
I was
I
gonna like
guess.
offer us like for example, I needed to write a legal document. I had ChatGPT help me. But like I still proofread it. I still added stuff to it. I still like did all the stuff that I used my own brain power for, but I needed like help with the legal jargon. So like
Mm-hmm.
I like I said, in moderation with balance, it could be helpful, but I agree it is kind of making people stupid.
I don't know. Anyways, let's
That's a tangent for another day.
yes, let's move on. This eShop could use some work. Is the point?
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, it is not anything that I would say is a drastic improvement over what the Switch One eShop was.
Mhm.
So it could definitely use some work, and I hope Nintendo realizes that. Like, the current state of the eShop, I feel like, is just like unsustainable because like you're gonna have more of these like AI generated games, so like it's gonna be flooded with games, and you're gonna see like the crash of the 70s like all over again if nobody knows like what is worth buying. So maybe not, but
Mhm.
like I don't know. That was the biggest thing that I was just like disappointed with the Switch 2 was that the eShop wasn't curated a little bit better. But
Mhm.
there is still a lot of time in order to in order to right that ship. Um, but yeah, so I fired up Mario Kart World. What a
Mhm.
what a fun game.
Oh my God, it's a blast. So Shad, my brother, I was like, "You're gonna play Mario Kart with me, right?" And he's like, "I don't know, I'm not really good at it." I'm like, "It's fine. I'm not good at it either. I just want help like unlocking stuff." And he was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, okay." He had so much fun. He was having and like this is a kid that like he hasn't played Mario Kart in maybe like 8 years, and he's not like that's Nintendo is just it's okay to him, but it's not like his jam. So he was having so much fun, and that made me like have even more fun because obviously I was having a blast, but like I
Hmm.
just love that he was enjoying the experience. And yeah, it is a like it is wild. It's maybe a titch tiny bit a little bit overwhelming with how much content is in it, but like if you're just there to like race the races, like it's such a blast.
Yeah, I think so. I thought it was really fun just like schmucking around and driving and doing like free roam. I do kind of agree with you though. Like that's maybe I don't even know if critique is the right word, but like I guess it's my critique. But like I do think that like when you're just kind of driving around in free roam, it's just like what should I be doing? Like should I be doing anything
Mhm.
or am I just literally like driving around? And if you're just driving around, I feel like that's fine. But there's all these like POW blocks and stuff like that that give you like little missions and whatever. And I was like, is there like a record of this? Like, should I do I have a goal in mind to like finish all of these POW blocks? So maybe that's just like the completionist in me. But I was like, what should I be doing when I'm
Mhm.
driving around here? But I don't know. I've raced a couple of kart rate like not kart races. Cups, that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
So I've done a
cups, yeah.
couple of cups and unlocked some characters. I'm like a very casual Mario Kart fan. Like to me,
Mhm.
Mario Kart is like fun to do. Like I'll probably have more fun like playing it with friends than
Right.
anything. And we definitely got to play, some online games here. But
Mhm.
uh, but yeah, like I had a really good time. I thought that the game felt really good. It didn't feel like a quantum leap over Mario Kart 8, but I feel like that's totally fine to me. And then yeah, I thought that free roam is definitely kind of like the selling point of the game because it is just kind of fun, like being able to schmuck around and do
Mhm.
whatever you want. It's literally like Mario Kart Breath of the Wild, like
Mhm.
in the good and the bad that entails. Because there are some times where it's like, should I be doing something? Like, should I? Is there a goal that I have in mind? Like, there's all these hidden peach coins. I was like, I haven't seen one, so like,
Mhm.
maybe that is like something to obtain. But yeah, I don't know. I thought that it was just like really fun, just kind of like wandering around in the desert savannah is mostly where I was.
I did one free roam in like one of the jungle tracks, and it was like really quick. I didn't really do a lot of free roam yet. And I think that's the part where I was feeling like a teeny tiny bit overwhelmed. Because like you, I'm like, what am I doing? And
Hmm.
I think more so like that question will be answered as we play. Like I think for now it just feels like new, fresh. There's a lot going on. There's a lot visually stimulating happening, sounds, whatever. So it feels like, oh God, what do I do? And like,
Hmm.
but I feel like the more we'll play it, the more that'll make sense. We'll be probably figure out the tracking system of all the like little missions that you can do. I've already seen like how I can look at Peach and be like, oh, she has 3 more outfits that I can unlock. That was probably my favorite thing is like
Yeah.
figuring out like what outfits can be unlocked and how to unlock them. I thought that was fun. I think it's cool how when you're in the cup, you can see where the free roam would take you, but they haven't blocked off so that you don't go willy-nilly when you're just in a cup.
Yeah.
So I think that's helpful. I thought that all the new tracks were spectacular. Thought a lot of the music was either new or great callbacks. Um, there's like one track that is like they brought back, and I was just like, oh hell yeah! Like I'm so glad that we have this one back. And then because of how the cups work is like each track is a continuation of the last one. So
Hmm.
they recycled the track and then they like continued it into the next one, and I was like, this is so sick. So I was very stoked about that. And then yeah, I like unlocking stuff, and I'm probably gonna like have, I don't know, like a big like I want to play this for the next few months, and then I probably will only ever play with friends after that. So like,
Yeah, I don't even know if I'm gonna like unlock everything. Like I'm just kind of like schmuck around and try and unlock as much as I can. But I'm actually thinking of picking up Cyberpunk
mhm.
2077 just because I
I'm
do
thinking
want like a
about
big
getting that
single
too.
player game
Hmm.
to play. And it's really not that long. Like we're about a month away from Donkey Kong Bonanza as well, which I'll be getting.
Oh yeah.
So that'll be really fun. But um, yeah, like I thought that Mario Kart was like a blast so far. I did I forget what they call. I think they call it knockout race, but it's basically like the battle royal or the F-Zero 99 kind of
Hmm.
gimmick here. And I thought that was well done as well. So I'm not like so knowledgeable on Mario Kart tracks where I was just like I could tell like this. I don't know if I've had any new ones or recycled ones, but every track I've played so far has been really fun. Like
Hmm.
classic Donkey Kong throwing the barrels, I thought was really great.
Yeah, those are cool.
Um,
Those
I,
are awesome.
I haven't got to Rainbow Road yet, so
Okay.
maybe I'll try and do that this week.
Hmm.
Because I feel like Mario Kart's not done until you get to Rainbow Road.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I thought that that Mario Kart was really fun so far. So I'm
I
having a good
feel
time.
like I feel like I can see the room for DLC already. I
Oh
feel
yeah,
like you can see that the silhouettes of what characters you can unlock, and I'm like there's clearly some other game characters that I think are going to come with DLC.
yeah,
So I feel like this game is here for the long haul, just like Mario Kart 8 was, and it looks stunning. It sounds stunning. It is like a super fun time. And then you have 24 racers now, so if you're playing online, like it's gonna be chaos, and I feel like that makes it even more fun. Like Mario Kart and chaos is a fun time.
yeah. So that was really fun. Um, I did fire up, like I said, the GameCube NSO, which
Hmm.
I thought was like. So it's a pretty small sample size right now. There's only 3 games, but like those are 3 like pretty good games to launch off with, and a lot there for Zelda fans too. Like a lot of people, like I know I was talking to Goo yesterday, and he was playing Soul Calibur 2 for the first time
Yeah.
since, I mean, 2002, right when that game launched.
Yeah.
I actually replayed Soul Calibur 2 during COVID, and I was just like, man, this game is like really fun. It's kind of like a more involved fighting game for me. So like I'm really bad at fighting games, and like there's like
Mhm.
actual like button combos and stuff that you need to do there, and I was like, oh man, I'm not very good at this at all. But I like really had a blast playing it, so I'm excited to get into that again. I think that was one of the earliest episodes of the show that we ever did, was looking back at Soul Calibur 2, or one of the ones that sticks out to me anyways,
Yeah,
looking back
yeah,
at
I think that
that.
was Yumi and Goo.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
That was probably during COVID, actually, so I guess not that
I
early.
I want to say I was salty because I didn't get the GameCube one. I got the Xbox one with, is it Spawn?
Oh,
Was it the
Spawn.
Xbox?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's the one that I played. And I mean, I still had a blast with it, but I didn't get Link. I got Spawn. And I didn't care for Spawn. So, like,
Well, you did better than the PlayStation got. They got, oh god, the guy from Tekken. Somebody help me out. It's like, I don't know, Hayden. I don't know, something
oh,
like
I don't
that.
know. Yeah, I didn't have
But I remember seeing this guy, and I was just like, this guy is a total bum. Like, no, nobody wants this guy. It's just like it's another fighting game character. Like, who cares?
Yeah.
It was, and it was definitely not as cool as having Link, and having even Spawn was pretty cool.
Hmm.
But yeah, so I played a little bit of F-Zero GX. I implore everybody, go and play this game. Like it's really great, and it's a very good complement to Mario Kart, because like Mario Kart is like a party racer. This is like a legit racer, and when you play F-Zero GX, you're gonna be like knocked off your socks by how fast it is, and it's difficult. It's difficult.
Okay.
You should try it. It's very, very fun.
I don't know how I feel about difficult.
Well, I like it does have some difficulty to it, but I feel like it's rewarding as well, because like when you win,
Mhm.
you're just like, yes.
I did it.
Yeah, like, and it's difficult because it's so fast. Like it's just
Mhm.
like a fast game. And you can attack other ships in F-Zero as well, which is kind of fun. But yeah, I had a blast with that, and then I didn't have a chance to do any of the mouse con controls yet,
Oh,
Al.
yeah,
I don't
me
know if
neither.
you
I
did.
haven't even tried.
Yeah,
No.
I like. Is it supported in Mario Kart? I'm not even sure.
I have no idea. I haven't even looked at it. Like, all I remember so far, because again, I don't play in handheld, was like I was messing around with the controllers because they're so satisfying to click
Hmm.
on and off of the console. But I didn't even look at the mouse thing yet. So
Yeah.
yeah, we'll see. I'm not even there yet.
There's a few features that I haven't had a chance to try yet. Like I haven't had a chance to try the game chat, unfortunately.
Hmm.
I guess I haven't really played online. Maybe you and I should have a Mario Kart race here and try it out. I don't know.
I
See what
feel
it's
like
all
that'd be a
about.
fun show.
That would be a fun show. Maybe we should just do that. Like have
Yeah.
a show where we just stream Mario Kart races. I don't know.
Yeah.
That could be fun. Although I guess we wouldn't be able to see how the chat works, but we'll try and figure it out.
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Did
didn't have a
you?
chance to try that yet.
Okay. So I didn't get a chance to do the GameCube stuff yet. That wasn't on my radar just yet. Did you bust open the Zeldas at all? The Breath of the Wild or Tears of the Kingdom?
No, I haven't yet.
You didn't even like open them just to look?
No.
Okay. I am like trying really hard to resist temptation because Catherine's over here like getting all the memory stuff already from the
Hmm.
Zelda notes, and I'm like getting major FOMO, but like I'm trying so hard because I want to dedicate some real time to it. So I'll do that in August. But I did open the games just to see what they looked like, and they're stunning. Like,
Yeah.
especially Tears. I went to like a really high point. I think I went to Temple of Time, and I just jumped off at sunrise just to see what it looked like. And it's spectacular. It's like it's still just as stunning as it was. It's just better. And so I'm really excited to replay the Switch Zeldas. So they look amazing.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna replay Breath of the Wild, and maybe hold off a little bit for Tears. Correct me if
Hmm.
I'm wrong. It's only Breath of the Wild that has like the new memories. Is that right?
Mm-mm. Tears
Is it,
does
is it
too.
both?
Tears has Rauru, Zelda, and Koga.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll do Tears of the Kingdom then. Maybe I'll
I'm
just
gonna do
do it.
Tears. I think what I'm gonna do is just like go into my 100% file of Breath of the Wild and kind of zip around and do the memories that way. But I'm
Yeah,
gonna replay Tears in full and experience them while exploring.
yeah. And actually, that's probably a show that we're gonna do pretty quickly. Is just talking about the new memories, and maybe if they add new context. And I guess like new memories, like it's new. It's not
They're
like
like
new
voice
cutscenes.
notes,
They're voiceovers.
like diary
Yeah,
entries, basically, and they're with the Zelda Notes
yeah.
app. So
I can't
yes,
remember. Is the Zelda Notes app part of Nintendo Today, or is it part of the NSO
I think
app?
it's part of NSO app.
Okay.
Mhm.
Jeez. I will say
Yeah,
I
because
wish that you didn't have to have apps in order to like connect to this stuff.
there's the there's the NSO app. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. And then like within there's like the individual game apps. So there's like Animal Crossing, there's whatever else.
I see.
So yes. Um my highlight of the game that I played the most on the Switch 2 is Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Hmm.
If there's ever a time now to play Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, because I know you have it, it's now because the game now plays how it should have 2.5 years ago when it came out on the Switch.
Yeah.
It is stunning. It is smooth. There's not lag in sight, which is like insane to me because I've been playing this game for 2.5 years and like all I knew was lag. And then now I can go in the water. And also, there's more Pokemon spawns. So before you could only get about 15 Pokemon spawns on a screen. There's like 36 to 40 now, which is insane, and it has been like helping my shiny hunting immensely. I tried to take a video of it through, you know how you like capture
Hmm.
video through the Switch. For some reason, the video looks more laggy than the game actually does. So I was like, that's kind of unfortunate. But, and I don't know what like causes that. But like, yeah, it's stunning. There's so many more Pokemon. People walk normal now. There isn't a bunch of like crazy botched glitches
Yeah.
happening everywhere. And I'm really excited if you finally play it. This would be the time. Is get it for the Switch too.
So I think what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna play Fire Emblem Engage because I bought that and then I like
Mhm.
my Joy Cons just like completely stopped working. So I'm gonna finish that. I am gonna pop in a little bit of Tears of the Kingdom, but I think I want to dedicate like a full file run to that. But I think I'm gonna zip around and like get all the memories,
Mhm.
and just like because I think that we should probably sooner rather than later, maybe even as early as next week, do like a show on some of the new content that we find. We'll talk about that. But yeah, I think I'm gonna do Cyberpunk, and I think I'm gonna do Donkey Kong when it comes out, and
Mhm.
I think that'll kind of hold us over until the next batch of games gets released here. We should probably, I would say, be having a Nintendo Direct in sometime this month. I would imagine,
Mhm.
and to get a little bit more like clarity on like when Pokemon Legends launches, when Metroid Prime 4 launches, when if there is more titles, maybe even Age of Imprisonment. So we'll see what that looks like. But yeah, like I haven't had a chance to play a whole lot, but what I have, I've been very impressed with, and just like the actual like the upgrade itself, I was like, my God, it's time. It is time for me to upgrade, and it felt so nice to not have my day one Switch because like the battery is brutal. The Joy Cons don't work like and that Switch owes me nothing. Like I've played thousands of hours of
Mhm.
that Nintendo Switch, so I'm not complaining.
Mhm.
But like it was certainly time for an upgrade, and I think like this really has delivered so far.
Yeah, so far. I would agree with you where it's just like the Switch was so loved by us. You
Yeah,
know, we played him into the ground. I literally killed mine and had to get a new one, and yours was about ready to die too.
yeah,
So it was time for upgrades. I just got mine a little earlier, so I'm kind of like, oh, I don't want to lose my Switch yet. But like, yeah, I want to make sure people know that we're not complaining about the Switch. It's just it was time to let it go and move on to the next evolution.
yeah.
And this is where I want to talk a little bit about like the reception, like the outside reception outside of our bubble of this community. And it's been like so weird. I don't know if you see it as much as I do because I'm on TikTok, but like I see the people who are dedicated Nintendo fans who are really enjoying themselves and having a good time. But there's so much backlash for the Switch 2 outside of that. It's just like a little wild to me and also maybe a tiny bit hypocritical. I want to say that the video game industry as a whole, like with consoles and stuff, is like it's not just Nintendo going in the direction that Nintendo went with like the prices, with how the game are captured on the cards, et cetera, et cetera. Like this, the subscription service, like all of them, Xbox and PlayStation all do these things that the Nintendo is doing, and so it's just kind of crazy to see people like lose their minds about what the Switch 2 is doing, and like not say anything about the Xbox or the PlayStation 5. Like they all do the same exact stuff. So not saying that's an excuse for some of the stuff that is happening that probably shouldn't be happening.
Hmm.
I'm just saying that it's everywhere. It's happening everywhere and it's not just the Switch 2. So let people enjoy the Switch 2 is all I'm trying to say there.
there's a bunch of weird guys in like my Calgary video game collector buy and sell group, and they were like, I can't wait to never buy the Switch 2 because it's
Mhm.
overpriced. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, don't buy the Switch
Yeah.
2 then, man. Like, that's it kind of reminds me of like the meme where, you know, Homer is trying to tell Moe that he's lost a customer forever, and Moe is just like so inundated with customers that are giving him money that he doesn't even recognize or try and hear what Homer is saying, right? Like,
Mhm.
um, I've seen a little bit of that where people are just like, but those people, I think no matter what are just not Nintendo gamers or not
Well,
like.
the funny thing is some of them bought the Switch too. So like what are you even saying? I feel like they're just cloud chasers. So it's just like you're just saying stuff because that's what everybody else is saying and you're recycling information that might not even be real. So,
I don't know. I feel like if you're excited about the Nintendo Switch 2, that's awesome. If you're not, that's
mhm.
great. Like, don't rain on my parade. But like, yeah, if you're just like, oh, I don't like Nintendo's business practices or what they like, okay, like that's fine. That's valid. That's like totally fair. But I also just like, you know what? I don't want to hear it. Like, just let us enjoy our Switch 2s.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree. So,
Yeah. So, and I mean, like, if someone also said like right now, like I'm not gonna get a Switch 2 until there's like that killer app to play, I also think that that's valid as well. Because like
yep.
if you're not into Mario Kart, there's really not like a ton on the Switch 2 for you that's not like upgraded Switch 1 games or like old games or anything like that, right? So like I feel like that's fair. And I mean that'll obviously come as we get a little bit, you know, deeper into the Switch 2's life, but yeah, I don't know. It's like I feel like I'm too old for this, Al. I'm just like do whatever you want, you know. Like if you don't want to buy the Switch 2, like that's cool, but just like keep it to yourself, you know.
Yeah, that would be my sentiment too, is like keep it to yourself because I feel like I've seen some people who are so excited and like their excitement gets like dimmed because of people like that, because people attack them in their comments or whatever. And it's not easy for everybody to just like shove that away, push that aside. Sometimes that stuff gets internalized. So it
Mm-hmm.
always bugs me when I see people super excited for something and then somebody else is like, that's stupid. I don't like that. Ugh. And it's like, just
Mm-hmm.
keep your opinions to yourself. We don't need to know. It's okay.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, that was kind of my first impressions of the Switch 2. My playtime was much more limited than I was hoping that it would be. I had a lot of like adulting to do last week,
Hmm.
but this upcoming week should be a little bit better. And I'm on vacation the week after,
Ooh.
so I am gonna get some gaming in, some nice gaming in. I think it's going to be Tears of the Kingdom, maybe a little bit of Cyberpunk. So we'll see. But yeah, I thought that I thought that the launch so far was pretty good. Like it was a lot less hectic than lots of previous Nintendo launches. It is missing that game, and I do want to see an improvement in the eShop like right away. But I mean, so far so good. I would say.
I agree. I think so far so good. I I'm really excited to keep playing. I feel like it's kind of funny because we're talking about like our plans for the future and stuff, and I'm like, man, this came out at a very inopportune time for me because I'm like preparing for so much other stuff to happen in the next 5 weeks. So it's just like now I got to find the time to actually like dive into the stuff that we're gonna cover. So
Hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
Um, yeah, like, and I do hope that we have a Nintendo Direct coming up soon. I like on the Omega side, Doom is very bullish about like there's 100% going to be a June Direct. I think there probably will be. I think it's likely, but I can't say that I'm like as confident just because you know the system just came out. But we
Mhm.
definitely do need some clarity on when some games are coming out, and it would be even like third party games like when's Elden Ring coming out, like when's that other From Software game coming out, like
Mhm.
a lot of those kind of like release dates as well. I think that like those are going to I think that those are going to help kind of the first couple of months here because like for me I don't think that this launch compares necessarily to like the launch of the Switch, which to be fair was like the most insane console launch almost ever. Like that first 9 months was just like a who's who of like just incredible games coming out. Which, to be fair, it kind of had to be because you were coming off the Wii U disaster. So I mean, I get it, but I would like to see a little bit more announced coming out quicker here. So hopefully that's coming.
I'm really curious. Once we get more of like those numbers, I feel like the last couple days hasn't been enough time to get the numbers, like to see how the Switch 2 has been doing so far and how launch went.
Yeah, I would say this too. Like if you are someone that didn't get the Switch 2 at launch, I don't think that you're like really. I don't want to say like you're not missing out on much. It's a very good upgrade on the Switch, but like I wouldn't feel like you're. I don't think you should have FOMO. Like I don't think you're missing anything other than maybe playing Mario Kart with buddies at this point. Unless Mario Kart is like your Breath of the Wild, then okay. But like I think that this was a much more like. I don't know, just like I said, a matter of fact kind of launch almost, just because there wasn't that big killer game there. So if you didn't get a Switch 2 and you're waiting, I think that that's totally fine actually. Like there's not that. And I don't know if Donkey Kong is that game either, actually. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if we have that big title in the first little bit here that you need to be rushing to get a Switch to. And maybe that helped as well with the launch.
Mm-hmm. Could have, yeah.
I heard that, like the number, though, is, like, already over 3 million for Switch 2s. Yeah.
Okay.
That's what I heard. I have no idea if that's true or not.
Yeah,
Man, I could see
like
it.
An official report, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Al, anything else about the Switch 2 you want to chat about?
No, I'm just really stoked. I'm excited. Can't wait to play more of it. Can't wait to really get a deep dive into it. And yeah, that's it.
There you go. Well, we do want to remind everybody about Middle Earth, the podcast.
Yes.
Our first episode is going to be dropping in the next week or so. And it was a very fun time. So me, Allison, and Corey, we are the fellowship of the podcast here. We have a new. So I had people over yesterday, Al. I was plugging this podcast, and like one of my friends is just like, "Can I come guest on this?" And I was like, "Yeah, of course you can." Like, so we might even have more backup here going forward.
Maybe Andy would want to guest on it. He's very knowledgeable.
Yes. So that's something to look forward to. That's going to be on patreon.com/spnet. And it's the three of us just talking about Tolkien's Legendarium. The first batch of episodes that we recorded were very focused on the first age of Middle Earth, the Elder Days of Middle Earth. So before it was even called Middle Earth, actually. So that would be a really good, a couple of episodes to get in on. And we had some fun too. Like we talked about making a Silmarillion movie. I'm going to rewrite some of my script to fit Mandos in there just for Allison.
Good. I love it.
So yes, consider checking that out. That's on patreon.com/spnet. We had a lot of fun with that as well. So hopefully that you guys dig that as well. All right. Yeah. Before we get out of here, Al, anything else?
That's all for me.
All right. Well, then, everybody, we want to thank you for checking it out. We want to know what your first impressions of the Switch 2 were. Let us know what you're going to be playing. Let us know how some of the things that we haven't had a chance to test out are going, like the game chat, like the mouse cons, all of that kind of stuff. It's even online. I haven't, obviously I haven't played online with anybody, so what that infrastructure is like, what the connection, all of that kind of stuff. So if you've done that, let us know, because we would love to have some firsthand feedback from people that have been doing that. And hey, maybe we got to get a Zelda Cast Mario Kart night going on here in the next little bit. Mm-hmm. I think that we could have some fun. I still haven't selected my main character yet.
I've been kind of cycling through them all because I want to unlock all their skins. So
yeah, I was disappointed that Cow doesn't have another skin.
Oh,
just Cow. Maybe it does. I don't know. Maybe it does, but I haven't unlocked it yet. Anyways. Yes, well, we'll have to get that going on here. In the meantime, we do, of course, want to remind everybody that you can check us out wherever you get your podcasts. Go like, subscribe, recommend, rate, review. Leave a comment on Spotify, all that kind of good stuff. We appreciate it all. And, hey, if you got a Zelda fan in your life, tell them where they can get their weekly Zelda fix, and tell them about the Zelda Cast. Patreon.com/spnet is where you can check out the Zelda Cast XL. Goo and I just dropped a new episode that's going to be releasing on Thursday, and it's Goo was listening back, and he was like, it's just two pals talking about Zelda, not a care in the world. So so it was a really good time. Go and consider checking that out. And, of course, Middle Earth, the podcast, is there as well. Give us a follow over on Blue Sky, at Spiteri316, at Allison Aletha, at the Zelda Cast, and check out ZeldaDungeon.net for all of your written guide Zelda needs. The Zelda Dungeon Marathon has been officially announced, actually. We should take a quick second and talk about that. Allison, what can you tell us about the event?
It takes place in the middle of July, and of course, because you put me on the spot, I can't remember the exact dates, but definitely check out the announcement video. It'll give you the dates. I believe it's the 14th through the 12th through the 19th. And then we're supporting No Kid Hungry again this year, and we're gonna play through every Zelda game. We got some new gimmicks, we got some old gimmicks, we got some like chaotic gimmicks that we're gonna introduce that we're really excited about, and it's gonna be a good time. So definitely tune in.
Nice. I have to say I'm officially, unfortunately, going to miss it this year. But on the plus side, I was able to restructure a couple things, so I will be able to get that time off for next year.
Yes.
That I know in advance. So
the return of Andy and also the hot wings.
Yes, that's right. Yes, that's right. All right, everybody, we are going to get out of here. Thank you for checking us out. Everybody have yourself a great week. Let us know about your Switch 2 first impressions, and we will see you back here at this time next week. Ciao.
Bye.
Hey, everyone. If you enjoyed this clip and want to see more of the Zelda Cast, make sure to head over to your favorite podcast platform of choice and subscribe. There are over 200 episodes in the vault that will provide you with hundreds of hours of Zelda content for you to enjoy. You can listen to us when you're on a walk, fighting Ganon, trying to sleep, whatever. And if you want to see these shows as they happen, make sure to head over to twitch.tv/the Zelda Cast, where you can watch our beautiful faces talk about Zelda every single week. Don't miss out, and we'll see you next time.